everybody and welcome to our Lockdown Made Easy with the really cool team. Today we're going to look at what can you do with your child at home if you have some rice in your cupboard. So, each activity I'm going to present to you today can be done with plain rice, but if you want to add some extra fun and more learning opportunities to these activities, you can easily do it by making it a colorful activities. To do it, you need a few food colorants. I have yellow, blue and red. You need your hand sanitizer or maybe some vinegar, and you need some plastic seed bags. So, let me show you how it can be done. To color your rice, you need to put 1 glass of rice into each bag. So I'm going to pour some rice into my bag. And I have no vinegar, so I'm going to add a few squirts of hand sanitizer. Ooh, this one is quite watery. But here we go. And I'm going to make my rice blue. So for 1 glass of rice you need about 10-15 drops of your food colorant. You can ask your child to count the drops with you, of course. Here we go, we have 15 drops. Now, snap the bag and mix well until the rice absorbs the color. Your child will probably love all the mixing, so just make sure that the bag is zipped properly before they start. I only have some primary colors with me, so it's red, yellow and blue. But if your child asks for any different color, you can mix your primary colors to get the one your child wants. For example, if your child wants purple, you can mix red and blue together. If they want orange, you are going to mix yellow and red. And let's say to make green, you will need blue and yellow and so on. Now, I think my rice is well mixed now. So I'm going to open the bag and I'm going to leave it until it dries. It usually takes around 24 hours for rice to dry. If you want to make it a bit faster, you can put it beside the radiator or maybe put it in a different tray and put it in the oven for 20 minutes. Before we even start with some proper activities, we have already done some learning with our child. We have made different colors of rice, so we worked on your child's vocabulary. We helped to create the cognitive links between the visual clues, so in this case they were different colors and words. We led the child to mix the colors in the bags, which increased their curiosity. It is also great for their fine motor skills. And of course, all touching and squeezing and squashing the bag, it's great for sensory development as well. While making colorful rice today, we asked the child what color they would like to make. Making choices like what color to dye the rice or what bag should we fill with the rice next will help to develop the skills they will use for independent decision making in the future. I know picking the color doesn't feel like any big decision now, but letting your child to make their little choices about the things that affect them will help them to make their own much bigger and important choices in the future. Guys, would you have a look at that? The colors are nice and bright and I'm so delighted it worked for me. So I have red, blue, yellow, I've made some orange and kind of brown, purpley color, and there is some plain rice as well. So everything is ready for us to start our activities. And the first activity that I'm going to suggest for you to try with your child is just a simple box. And I'm going to fill this box with rice, and I'm going to add some other objects you can find in your house. Some smaller containers or boxes, or maybe empty box after yogurt, spoons. I have something like this. I actually don't know how is it called. But something like this, which is good and nice for a child. I have a few straws, spoons, some toilet paper rolls, and any boxes. I'm going to actually go around the kitchen and pick a few other objects, and we're going to see what we can make. Okay, I have my box filled with rice, and I put some objects into it. So you can start this activity just by asking your child to play with it, and this activity is great sensor activity for most of your child's senses. So starting with vision, of course, because we can look at different colors, hearing as well, so we can listen to grain drops pouring on different containers, paper, plastic or metal. They make different sounds. Of course, we can talk with our child about that as well, and maybe even smell. I'm going to add a few drops of orange essential oil, which it makes nice and very nice smell as well. Well, if you're brave enough actually, and you have a box big enough, you can also ask your child to walk into the rice. Children's feet are as sensitive as their hands, so allowing your child to feel and explore with their feet is a different way of sensory development as well. So as you see, this activity can keep your child busy for a while. During this activity, you can also introduce some maths concepts. We can measure how much rice fits in two different containers, which one is bigger, which one is smaller. We can feel them and see which one takes more rice. We also can talk about full container and half container. Here we go. So as you see, there is different opportunities to expand this activity. We can talk about which one is lighter, which one is heavier, which one is empty, which one is full, bigger, smaller. If it's too easy for your child, we can even take this activity a bit further and use kitchen scale to weigh the rice and use grams to decide which cup holds more rice. All this helps with building some maths vocabulary as well, which they will use in the future. The biggest advantage of this activity is that we can use the rice many times before our child gets bored with it. To keep it more interesting and fun, we can change the objects we put in the box many times. We can put our child's favorite farm animals. I have here like farm unicorn and farm pig, and maybe their favorite toys as well, so we can keep this activity nice and fresh for many days. Okay, so here is an example of how you can set up this activity. So I have some different color rice here, and I have a few blocks, for example, to make a nice train station, a few trains, a funnel to load some petrol into my trains. Here we go. And we're missing Mommy and Daddy Pig waiting to get on the train. And here I have another example of how you can lay out this activity. As you can see, this time I used my dinosaur to create a little dinosaur world. As you see, my dinosaurs are just hatching out of their eggs and coming out to look for their mummies. What you also can do, you can hide something in your rice and ask your child to dig some dinosaur fossils. So as you see, this little bit of rice gives us never-ending opportunity of creative fun, great for your child's language, maths, fine motor skills and sensory development as well. Is to encourage your child to use the rice to pretend play. And here again we have a lot of opportunities to choose from. We can make an oven and a stove using some boxes and paper. So I just made one. There's my hob and there's my oven, very simple. Here we go. And you can add some pots or other kitchen objects. Here we go, that's my something, and a pan as well. And your child can pretend that they are making a meal for you, or for their teddies, or maybe even their dinosaurs. You can use the kitchen scale or measuring cups. You can actually give your child whatever you want depending on what you would like them to use, and when the rice is ready, they can pretend to be mom or dad feeding their children, or maybe even a chef in a restaurant serving food to their customers, or a kitchen assistant packing a meal for you for your takeaway order. I have a little box here. If you have any boxes, you can give it to your child as well. So that's your little takeaway meal, and don't be surprised, you might need some pretend money to buy the cooked rice from your favorite takeaway restaurant. We just had some pretend play, and pretend play is very important to your child's development. Letting your children to be someone else for a while teaches them empathy and social interactions, social relations. It also teaches them new language, improves their communication skills, and it also encourages their thinking and problem solving. In the future, your child will use their imagination and problem solving skills every day to solve their own problems. Rice is great for making some musical instruments. You can use an old spice jar or plastic bottle to make some instruments. Making music and sound is a great way to explore the sense of hearing. So you can fill your containers with different amount of rice and just let your child to explore what kind of sound is made when the container is open, what kind of sound we can make when it's closed, how does it sound when there is just a little bit of rice, what if there is more rice. So you can compare different sounds. You can ask your child to make a beat of their favorite song, or maybe make their own beat, whatever you like. And for little ones, for little children, it's good to put a bottle with rice on the floor and let them roll. It helps them to discover their hearing as well. Another activity you can do with your rice is you can put your rice in a shallow tray and let your child to fill it with their hands. Or maybe draw some letters, shapes or patterns on another page and let them to copy them on your tray. So here is an example of how you can do this activity. Your child can use their fingers, or they can use a brush to create some patterns you made for them. So I have one pattern here. I can also make maybe some shapes, maybe a circle and a triangle. Here we go. So, or maybe some letters or numbers, whatever you like, whatever you like. So what you do, you ask your child to repeat the same pattern on the tray. So you have zigzag and the line and zigzag again. Or maybe even you can ask your child to put the letters of their favorite really cool after school. You can also use colored rice to create beautiful pictures and patterns. To do so, you will need some pages, liquid glue and rice, of course. You can draw some outline for your child. It can be a picture or pattern. I believe all their children will enjoy drawing their own designs, and the younger ones might just enjoy sticking rice to the empty page. So, when your picture is ready, when we finish with our drawing, apply some glue on some parts of your picture. Where liquid glue is much better here for this activity. So I made an umbrella and I'm going to start with glue. I'm going to pour some rice over the picture. There you go. Shake it a bit. Maybe left the rest in the box. And now I'm going to make maybe red. I'm going to do the same with red. So glue first and then sprinkle it with rice. You can use a spoon as well. It's easier to pour the rice in the correct spot. There we go. And that's how you do it. This activity works on your child's creativity and hand and eye coordination, also concentration and fine motor skills, of course. And it can keep your child busy for a long time. You can create loads of different pictures. So my pictures are ready. I've made an umbrella. It's still a little bit wet. It takes a while to dry. And I made a rainbow. Here you go. And as you see, you can make loads of different things. So if you make something out of colored rice, you can post it to us under the video. And now it's time for our last activity, and this time you will need a sock and maybe a piece of string and a marker. And this time we're going to make a bunny. To make your bunny, you need a sock and you need rice. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to fill my sock with some rice. I'm going to use the toilet roll as a funnel, but you can use normal funnel as well. It's a bit messy. Okay, so I think we have enough. So what I have done here, I fill my socks with the rice, leaving a little bit at the end. And what I'm going to do now, I'm going to coat the top of the sock starting from the top, going down. Okay, it will be much better if I have better scissors. Okay. Yeah, okay, it's working now. Super. So on both sides. Here we go. And I'm going to tie them on the top. So the top of the sock is going to make my bunny's ears. And I'm going to make a little body for my bunny as well. So I'm going to use the ribbon and tie it around my bunny. Just like this. Oh. Now we have our belly and our head for our bunny. And maybe we make it a little bow. And now I'm going to use my marker to make my bunny's eyes. Maybe eyelashes as well. And a big smile. And his teeth as well. There you go. My bunny is ready. Okay, so my bunny is ready. So you can look at him. Here we go. And I also have different bunnies here. I've made them with children before. So there is one bunny with this little cute tail, and there is another one with whiskers on his face. So as you see, each bunny is different, and you can make loads of different bunnies depend on what you have at home. Let's be honest, your child might spill the rice from time to time while you have fun, while you do your art activities or sensory play, but please don't get upset over that. Please see this as another learning opportunity. Let your child pick up the rice, get a little dustpan, and then let your child to sweep up the rice together with you. And remember, have loads of fun while playing with rice, because children learn the most when they have fun. Thank you so much for watching, for joining us today, and I will see you all next week. Bye!